Hello and welcome to Meet the Candidates for the Tuesday, August 2nd, 2022 primary. I'm your host, Dan York. This is one of two Meet the Candidates programs that we've done for the August 2nd primaries. The first one being candidates for the mayor's seat here in Garden City for a primary. This program features candidates for Congress, State Senate, and for the State House. These are newly formed districts, so some of the candidates are familiar, while some are not. We invited all of the candidates that appear on the ballot, those that did respond and elected to appear on the program, you will see here. This show features, again, the newly configured 12th Congressional District, the newly configured 5th State Senate District, and the newly configured State House 26th District. Additional offices that don't have primaries that we will feature on the November Meet the Candidates program include County Executive, Wayne County Sheriff, and County Commissioner. Ballot proposals that appear on the August 2nd ballot include Proposition J, which is a jails millage renewal, the Garden City Street Improvement Bond Proposal, which is an extension of the current street bond, and the Garden City Public School Operating Millage Proposal, which is also a continuation of the current non-homestead operating millage proposal. Now, additional information can be found about these proposals, as well as with complete language of the ballot at gardencitymi.org/vote. That's gardencitymi.org/vote. Now, the offices featured on today's program include Democratic and Republican candidates for the 12th District. Those candidates on the Democratic side are Rashida Tlaib, Janice Winfrey, Kelly Garrett, and Chanel Jackson. Rashida Tlaib and Kelly Garrett accepted our invitation to appear on the program. For the Republican side, and remember, when you vote, you can only vote either on the Republican side or the Democratic side. You cannot split your ticket because this is a primary. On the Republican side, candidates include James Hopper, Hassan H. Nami, and Stephen Elliott. None of those candidates accepted our invitation to appear on the program. On the Democratic side, for State Senator 5th District, Dana Pohl-Hanke and Velma Jean Overman are the candidates on the Democratic primary. Both of those candidates accepted our invitation to appear on the program. The Republican candidates for State Senator 5th District include Emily Bowman, Jody M. Rice White, and Leonard C. Scott Jr. Emily Bowman and Jody M. Rice White accepted our appearance to be on the program. For the state legislature for the 26th District, the candidates include Stephen Chisholm, Stephen Patterson, Dylan Wagala, and Alan Wilson. Dylan Wagala and Alan Wilson accepted our invitation to be on the program. On the Republican side, there is only one candidate, James Townsend. We spoke to Mr. Townsend. He elected to pass on the primary program since he is running unopposed and will appear on the show that we do for the November election. Each candidate was given 5 minutes to present their platform. Some chose to use a teleprompter, some did not. This program can be seen several times and several ways up until Election Day. You can see it on GCTV on Channel 12 on Comcast, Channel 18 on WOW, and Channel 99 on UVerse, July 15th through the 17th, July 22nd through the 24th, and July 29th through the 31st. And the way the majority of you will view this program, it'll be found on Facebook at City of Garden City MI, that is City of Garden City MI, and on our YouTube page at GCTV HD, that is GCTV HD. And again, all of this information, as well as the ballot and more information and interviews that we'll be doing on some of these ballot proposals, can be found on the city's website at gardencitymi.org/vote. That's gardencitymi.org/vote. Let's begin our program now with the congressional candidates for the Democratic Party for the 12th District. We'll begin with Rashida Tlaib.
Hello, I'm Congresswoman Rashida Tlaib, and I'm running for re-election to Congress in Michigan's new 12th Congressional District, which includes Garden City, as well as other communities in Wayne and southern Oakland counties. It has been an honor to represent Garden City in the United States Congress these past 4 years. As the eldest of 14 children, I have been taking care of people all my life. Getting our families through everyday issues and challenges is as important as our legislative work in Washington, D.C. This is why I've already opened 4 neighborhood service centers throughout the district that's helped our residents get the resources they need and helping return over $5 million back directly to our residents. I am also fighting to ensure that every resident has the opportunity to not only survive, but to thrive in our country. And I know it shouldn't be this hard to provide for our families. Although Garden City is one among several communities in my district, I make sure it always gets the attention it deserves. When Garden City Hospital was underwater after a devastating flood, I made sure that our governor and Wayne County government was aware and working to support efforts to restore it. I also ensured that Garden City had a FEMA office located within the city for easy access for our residents and to help our neighboring Western Wayne communities. No matter the issue, I am committed to making sure that our communities in the new 12th Congressional District are not left behind and not able to access an advocate in Congress. It will be an honor to continue to serve and fight for you in the U.S. Congress. You can vote for me now by mail when you request a ballot from our local city clerk here at the Garden City Hall at 6000 Middlebelt. The drop box is located right in front of the City Hall and it's open 24 hours every single day of the week. If you have any questions, please know that my door is always open. Please call me at 313-694-3606. Again, I'm your Congresswoman, Rashida Tlaib, a fighter for the people, and I'm running for re-election for the new 12th Congressional District.
Hello, this is Mayor Kelly Garrett, and I'm running to be your next Congresswoman for the new 12th District. That includes Garden City. I am the first African American mayor of the city of Lathrop Village. I have served for the past 11 years on the Lathrop Village City Council, with 5 of those years as Mayor Pro Tem and 5 as mayor. I am the state director for a national nonprofit, and I am the former deputy director for the Voter Protection Unit for the Michigan Democratic Party. I was recently appointed by Michigan Governor Gretchen Whitmer to the Michigan Commission on Community Outreach and Economic Opportunity. And I'm also a proud member of Alpha Kappa Alpha Sorority Incorporated. As a current elected official that is not paid, I'm working for my constituents daily and would do the same for you. Folks talk about fixing the roads. I am fixing the roads and updating the infrastructure with my colleagues. When it comes to the environment, I made a pledge along with other mayors and signed the National Wildlife Federation Mayor's Monarch and Pollinators Pledge. I signed a pledge for mayors against LGBTQ discrimination. I also signed and pledged to the United Way for the Southeastern Michigan. Why did I make those pledges? Because I believe in getting the job done and being relentless on behalf of my constituents, and would do the same in Washington, D.C. on your behalf daily. I'm running to address critical issues across our diverse district that are important to you. Families and seniors making tough decisions about the rising costs of healthcare, including prescription drugs. Small business owners trying to stay open post-COVID. Cities in the 12th District getting their fair share of federal funding. Gun violence sweeping through our communities. Keeping jobs in Michigan. And affordable and quality education for everyone. We need affordable health care now. I know what it's like not having health insurance. I believe everyone deserves to have access to affordable health care. Our neighborhoods and schools should be safe. There's no time for any elected official or leader to talk about defunding the police. We must fully fund our police department with mental health resources. Our babies must be protected in schools. Gun reform must be passed at the federal level to impact change across the board. The federal government should support updating infrastructure needs for hardworking families. While the residents approved a millage to increase taxes in the city of Lathrop Village, I feel as if we are taxing the residents out of their home. The federal government should be assisting homeowners with updated infrastructure needs. Good paying jobs should be the cornerstone of the American dream. I am a friend of labor and believe in the right to organize. I want to keep auto jobs in District 12 and in Michigan, period. I want small businesses to expand and for all businesses to provide a living wage. I am Kelly Garrett, your candidate for Congress in the new 12th District, and I'm asking for your vote between now and Tuesday, August 2nd. I can be reached via email at voteforkellygarrett@gmail.com or by website at www.voteforkellygarrett.com or by phone 248-667-8900. Thank you.
I am Velma Jean Overman, candidate for State Senate for the new District 5, which includes Canton, Westland, Inkster, Livonia, and Garden City. I am the oldest of 14, widowed after 40 years of marriage, the mother of 3 and grandmother of 3. As you can imagine, leadership and love sacrifices are not new to me. My lived experiences armed me with the desire to lift the burdens of the poor, pursue justice, and have compassion for all humanity. After I retired, I began as a full-time community advocate and activist across the state. I'm the executive director of Operation Refuge, which oversees Camp Inspire, a STEM program research for summer camp for girls 5th grade through 12th, which provides educational enrichment, cultured arts, and career education, community service. I'm the executive director of Mother's Pantry, a food pantry that serves over 400 families each month. I am the executive board member of Wayne County College Access Network, where our goal is to have 60% of Michiganders be either credentialed or degreed by 2030. Although I call Inkster home, for many years I have enjoyed working in collaboration with the great people and institutions in Garden City. Girls in Camp have worked closely with the Schoolcraft College Ratcliffe Center and with Dr. Michelle Klein to imagine a bright future in STEM research and development. I have worked extensively in drug prevention efforts in Garden City. As the former executive director of the Inkster Task Force, I sought federal grants that benefited both Inkster and Garden City. We successfully received funding for drug treatment and interventions, efforts that benefited both cities, the Drug Free Community Grant. We have always shared in our excellence. I have witnessed the benefits of collaboration and creating community across districts. I am hopeful about the future of our district. The challenges are great, but the people are greater. Garden City deserves to have its voices heard and a representative that will never leave them behind. You and I have the personal charge and the ability to create a community where parents can send children like my granddaughter Gabby to school without fearing they will not return. A district that is modeled for governance for the rest of the state, where collaboration, equity, and access are the norm and not the exception. I am asking that you vote for me, Velma Jean Overman, Democrat for State Senate, on August 2nd, and I promise to serve you well. God bless you.
Hello, I'm Dana Polhanke. I'm a former high school English teacher and 2-time Teacher of the Year in my former school district in New Haven. In 2018, I ran for the Michigan Senate and was chosen by voters to represent several Western Wayne County communities. Earlier this year, the state's Redistricting Commission finished their task of assigning new districts after the 2020 census. The new 5th Senate District includes some of the communities I served after the last election, but I am excited for the chance to represent Garden City for the first time. I'm enjoying getting to know Garden City residents, elected representatives, and members of the school community. I'm grateful to have the support of Garden City Mayor Randy Walker in this election. It has been a tremendous honor to serve Western Wayne County in the Michigan Senate. I've been working to help residents with the issues they face in everyday life. I know that rising costs are impacting our families and neighbors, and that's why I'm working to reduce expenses for Michigan residents. I voted twice to lower the price at the pump by pausing the state gas taxes. I also introduced legislation that would help reduce prescription drug prices. and I have legislation to protect workers who are victims of payroll fraud. As a former teacher, I'm thrilled to serve as the Democratic Vice Chairwoman of the Senate Education Committee, and I serve on the Senate K-12 Appropriations Committee. Here, I've passed legislation that helps students with dyslexia. Recently, I led a bipartisan supported bill package to address the teacher shortage. And lastly, I'm proud to have supported major investments that will help students catch up after COVID and support any mental health issues they may be dealing with. In the legislature, I've been a vocal champion for women's issues in the Michigan Senate, and I co-sponsored the bill to repeal the 1931 abortion ban and support reproductive rights. There's still so much work that can be done to make Michigan the best it can be, and I'm seeking re-election to be a champion for your family and our communities. Visit my website at danaforsenate.com. That's DAYNA for Senate.com. I would be honored to have your vote on August 2nd.
I am Jody Rice White, a resident of Canton since 1974 and a 1981 graduate of Salem High School. My first home was purchased on Houghton Street in Livonia, which is where I met my husband Jeff in 1991. Our 2 children were raised in Westland up until 2018, but now we're back in Livonia, living in our first home while our children are busy living their dreams. Allison is 24 and is pursuing a career as a professional chef, while currently working as an intern for Disney this summer. Mitchell, 22, is pursuing a career as a professional pitcher. He's on a college scholarship for his talents and skills in the game of baseball. My 40-year career of selling real estate focused on home buyers in Wayne County, which includes Inkster and your hometown of Garden City. On August 2nd, a primary ballot will be available for all voters. I'm asking the independent and Republican voters to choose Jody Rice White for Senate District 5. My motive and intent to work for the concerns of the people is evident, as I've devoted the past 4 years to court reform, election integrity, and parent-teacher rights. I was the executive secretary and state committee woman for the 13th Congressional Michigan GOP District from 2014 to 2018, and currently I'm spending hours being the eyes and the ears for the people by observing the legislative process in Lansing and conducting hours of court watching over our judiciary branch. I want to use the elected public functionary role of state senator to protect you against the injustices as I serve to protect the rights found in our nation's Constitution. We must protect our individual rights as we use the government to help fund these public services. The role of the Senate is not to help fund the public functionary pocketbooks and their pensions. We know that. I want to represent the people of Garden City because I've heard that they have lacked representation for some time now. Being a smaller city, this town has less access to resources to help provide the proper public services this city needs. I will be keeping a close eye on the budget and the expenses at the state level in order to help the people of Garden City and to ensure no harm comes to this community. We want good governance in our educational system, our medical system, and our legal system, as we must work together to bring up the moral and ethical code of what good governance looks like. I am a proven advocate that will not stand down to exposing the corruption that I believe has harmed this great state. To confirm my belief, please note that in 2019, the headlines in the Detroit Metro Times stated, quote, "Michigan is the nation's most corrupt state," unquote. This level of corruption is staggering, and we must protect our civil establishment that our founding fathers and framers created for this country. Michigan must elect public functionaries who will work under an oath of office to protect and preserve the truth, the whole truth, and nothing but the truth. I, Jody Rice White, am the best candidate for Garden City because I understand the proper role of the government, the sacred value of the Constitution, the importance of the family. And I understand that the foundation of this entire experiment in self-government is God and His righteousness and glory. I know how to work with people. I know how to stand up for what is right. I know how and when to ask questions. If I think something is wrong, I know that the people deserve to have their public functionary follow the Constitution that limits the government. We have for far too long been misled into believing that the Constitution gives the government the power to limit our liberties, but this is just not correct. And I intend to stand up for liberty to the guiding principles that, if followed, would form a perfect union, establish justice, ensure domestic tranquility, provide for common defense, promote the general welfare, and secure the blessings of liberty to ourselves and our children. These are the direct words from the Constitution, and if those words worked for our founding fathers and mothers, they work for Jody Rice White, your next state senator, District 5. Thank you for your vote and confidence in me to serve you. Jody Rice White for Senate 5.
Hi, I'm Emily Bauman. I'm running for State Senate District 5, which will serve Canton, Westland, Garden City, Inkster, and Southwest Livonia. I am married to Bill for almost 25 years. We have 3 children, an adult daughter at 21 and 2 middle school boys. As I prepared for this opportunity to talk to you, I knew I could go and tell you all my accolades, tell you all my history, but that is actually already on my website, emilybauman.com, and I encourage you to go there. What I thought would be valuable here was the opportunity for you to hear why you should vote for Emily, why your vote should be cast for Emily Bauman. And that's an important question, and I want to answer that for you. One of the first questions I encourage people to ask any candidate when they're preparing for finding out who to vote for is ask them how they make their decisions. We're not necessarily going to agree on how we raise our children. We're not necessarily going to agree on how we choose to live our lives. But how we make decisions is important because this district has 270,000 residents. I am only one of 270,000 residents, and I must serve all 270,000 residents, not just the ones that vote for me, but all of them. So as your senator, I want you to know that I base my decisions on what something is called core values. I have been a business coach and a leader with nonprofits for a number of years, and I've helped them put together their core values, which are a set of values that everyone can share. Individually, they may not all share them, but collectively, they come together and they make decisions for their organization based on these core values. And we actually have a shared set of core values, and that's called the U.S. Constitution, the Michigan Constitution, and the Declaration of Independence. So how will I make my decisions? I will make my decisions based on defending and upholding those values. What does that look like? Over the last several years, we have been hurt by many things. We have been hurt by most recently, the inflation, gas prices, fuel prices going up. We've been hurt by loss of businesses, loss of jobs. We've been hurt by not being able to find the employees to be able to keep our businesses running. We have been hurt by parents being squeezed from their parental rights, not being able to choose how to educate their children that we're allowed to do under the law. We have been hurt by so many of these things. And we do share that. Now, the effects might be different on each one of us, but we do share a lot of these hurts. We are hurt by the loss of lives over the last several years. So as one of 270,000, my job as your senator is to stand for you. First, I need to be listening to you. I need to be asking you questions, learning about you. I encourage you to call me. Ask me those hard, tough questions. Tell me about you. Tell me what's going on with you and where you're being hurt by. And let's come up with a solution together on that. My job is to stand for you. Stand for your family. Stand for your freedom. Stand for your prosperity. And I will do that by defending and upholding the Constitution. I will do that by being sure that your parental rights are protected, that you can raise your children and educate your children your way. I will stand for you to be sure that you can make the choices in your health that matter to you. I will stand for you that your business can be open with limited restrictions so that you can actually run your business and hire your employees. I will stand for you, and I will stand for the future generations, because we do need to be looking at that too. It's not just us. We have our children and our grandchildren to be thinking about. I will protect parental rights. I will stop wasteful spending, and I will fight against mandates. Please reach out to me, 248-509-4744, or send me an email at emilylistens@emilybauman.com. My website again, emilybauman.com. I look forward to being your next senator, and I look forward to answering the tough questions.
Citizens of Garden City, first off, I'd like to thank Garden City Mayor Randy Walker, the City Council, Communications Director Dan York, and the people of Garden City for allowing me to participate in this Meet the Candidates Forum. My name is Alan Wilson, and I'm running for the office of State Representative, House District 26, which includes the great community of Garden City, Romulus, Westland, and Inkster. I was born and raised in Detroit. I'm one of 9 siblings. My mother is 88 years old, and my father was a proud UAW member at Ford Motor Company for 32 years. He passed away in 2017. I have resided in Romulus for over 22 years. I'm a graduate of Wayne State University, where I earned a bachelor's degree in public policy administration in 1994 and a master's degree in dispute resolution in 2006. I'm running for the state representative position because I know that I have the passion, the ability, and the experience to help improve the quality of life for you, the residents of Garden City. And as the home of the very first Kmart in the world in 1962 and the first ever Little Caesars in 1959, this town has proven its ability to be a leader. However, with the current economic crisis that has been created by the worst inflation rate in the past 40 years, now more than ever, we need a powerful and strong leader in Lansing to represent our best interests. As I have walked through the city, knocking on doors, and personally talking to many of you, the common thread is that people are troubled. Record high prices for gas, food, prescription drugs, healthcare costs, and the soaring interest rates have forced many families to decide between putting food on the table, buying your medications, putting gas in your tank, or simply enjoying a much needed family vacation. Having said that, I feel very strongly that in America, we should be able to thrive and not just survive. To this end, I would like to give you a brief history about myself. As a present member and international staff representative of the United Auto Workers Union, I have been in the forefront over the past 35 years, fighting for the rights of those who place trust in me. In 1990, as a young man who was elected as union president, which was the top union position in the Ford Local 600 Dearborn Assembly Plant, I was immediately tasked with leading the discussions with Ford Motor Company in order to negotiate a new modern operating agreement that would save the jobs of nearly 3,500 workers. Because at that time, the company was preparing to send the Ford Mustang to its more modern and efficient Flat Rock Assembly Plant and close the Asian Dearborn Assembly Plant, regardless of the many jobs and community businesses that would be devastated by this action. After many months of difficult talks, my UAW negotiating team and I were successful in achieving a contract that not only protected the jobs of those 3,500 UAW members, but we were able to salvage the jobs of over 1,200 other members in the other facilities that surround the Ford Rouge complex. Today, the old Dearborn Assembly Plant is now called the new Dearborn Truck Plant, and the entire complex and the community is flourishing with the success of the Ford F-150 truck. Also, I was appointed as one of 2 Democrats to the Wayne County Board of Canvassers in 2018. And as many of you may be aware, on November 17, 2020, I, along with a fellow Democrat and 2 Republican canvassers on the board, had the momentous task of certifying 878,000 votes cast by the people of Wayne County, including your votes that were cast right here in Garden City. During deliberations, The former president was putting enormous pressure on the two Republican members to deny the certification and disallow 878,000 ballots cast. In the history of the United States, no president and his party had ever refused to accept a clear defeat. Nevertheless, after 3 hours of intense negotiations and discussions, all 4 members of the board voted yea to certify the ballots, as Joe Biden won the state by 154,000 votes and thereafter was rightfully awarded the 16 Electoral College votes. To this end, democracy prevailed. However, in order to maintain democracy, we must achieve the Democratic majority in Lansing. We can do this by having an enormous voter turnout for the primary election on August 2nd, 2022. I say all that to say this. I am the best candidate for the job of state representative. I will be a courageous and unyielding voice on the floor of the State House, and I will consistently advocate for your rights, as well as fighting fiercely to promote legislation that will improve your quality of life in Garden City. And to do this, I ask for your vote. We can and will do this, Garden City. God bless you. Thank you.
Hi, my name is Dylan Wigella. I'm a public school teacher and union activist, and I'm running for state representative in the Democratic primary. I am coming here today to ask for your support in the primary. I am running to fight for our schools, to fight for our workers and our unions, and for our seniors and for healthcare. I'd like to say that my campaign is about putting people first over corporate interests and profits. Our schools are in crisis. Michigan is 43rd in teacher pay, and we have the second worst student-to-counselor ratio in the country, with just one counselor for every 671 students. We need to make sure that our schools have not only qualified educators, but also the mental health professionals that they need. I propose adding funding to our school system to allow for social workers. And I know how important social workers are because my wife is also a social worker. I would also like to see us fight back against these right-to-work laws so we can strengthen collective bargaining and unions in Michigan. I myself served for 2 years as a union president, and I know the importance of organized labor. Lastly, I want to fight for our seniors. I've knocked on over 6,000 doors in this campaign, and time again, when I talk to senior citizens, they have major concerns over the cost of prescription drugs, the taxing of their pensions, and the overall rising cost of inflation and gas prices. My campaign's been endorsed by the Michigan Education Association, the Young Democrats of Michigan, AFSCME Local 25, Municipality Workers Union, and all 3 mayoral candidates here in Garden City. I believe we need a candidate that's going to work as hard as the hardworking people here in Garden City. I also think that we need somebody who's going to work with our local leaders to make sure that change happens. What makes me different than any other candidate in this race is I grew up in Michigan. My mom's entire side of the family is here from Garden City. My grandfather owned a bowling alley here in the 1960s. I deeply care about this community. After I student taught at Garden City High School and graduated from Eastern Michigan, I spent 5 years living in Phoenix, Arizona. If you just Google my name simply and look up some of my work, you'll find that in 2018, I helped lead 30,000 teachers on strike in Arizona. We won $400 million and a 20% raise for educators. I'm not a politician. I'm an educator and an organizer. Right now, in the House, Republicans control the House and Senate in Michigan legislature. We need somebody who's going to do more than simply write bills that are going to be shot down in Lansing. I want to organize from that position with labor, with community groups, with local officials to push for the change that we so desperately need. It is frustrating that so many politicians take corporate money and special interest money in their campaigns. My campaign has promised to run clean, and what I mean by that is we are not taking any corporate PAC money. I ask for your support in August 2nd primary, and I hope to see you at your doors. Thank you.
Thanks for watching Meet the Candidates for the August 2nd, 2022 primary, and thanks to our candidates that chose to appear here on the program. We remind you we have two programs. We have a companion program that also covers the mayor's election for Garden City. There are 3 candidates running for 2 seats available on the November ballot. They include incumbent Randy Walker, councilperson Mark Jacobs, and challenger John Murray. Again, you can see this program throughout the election here on GCTV, as well as watch it on the city's Facebook and YouTube pages. But most importantly, make sure that you get out and vote on August 2nd. I'm Dan York. Thanks for watching, and good night, everybody.